What's cracking, guys? Omar Yusuf here, back with another video. Enjoy this beautiful scenery as we talk about an important topic, what no bodybuilder wants to talk about, at least from my own personal experience. And we're gonna get a little real here when we talk about the fitness industry. I do want to talk about bigorexia. I want to talk about body dysmorphia. I want to talk a little bit about eating disorders and why these things aren't good, and why they are far more prevalent than anybody thinks. I know what you probably thought by the title. You're like, what no bodybuilder wants to talk about. Oh, he's gonna talk about flex shows. No, we're talking about bigorexia, never feeling swole enough. And someone famously said, the day you first start lifting is the day you realize you'll never be big enough. But there's a hint of truth to this, where I've interacted with a variety of different people, different disciplines, powerlifters, strongman, weightlifters, bodybuilders, just general athletes, people that play a variety of sports. And from my personal experience interacting with some physique competitors, with some bodybuilders, that whole concept of the bigorexia is very real. Never feeling big enough, not being comfortable in your own skin. And I think that's fucked up. I think lifting should be something healthy, something positive that we do for ourselves. I understand you don't like the way you look. Maybe you feel a little too fat. Maybe you feel like you could build some muscle. I totally get that. Lifting should be, once again, a positive experience. You're transforming your body in a positive way, but you should be always comfortable in your own skin, because I've heard stories from individuals where they're shredded to the bone. If anyone else was to take a look at them, they'd be like, damn, this dude is in shape. He has a hell of a lot of muscles. He is exceptionally lean. But when they look at themselves, they just feel small. They feel like they're not big enough, or maybe they're not lean enough. They're not good enough. And this is, once again, far more common than people realize. And it's very dangerous, because if we don't address it, the problem will continue to happen unaddressed, and then more people will experience it, and then they just suffer silently, and then maybe they stop lifting. In fact, I'm gonna share a quick anecdote. I had someone that was a Uber driver of mine that basically told me that he used to use steroids, loved the results he got from those steroids, but what ended up happening is that he went off cycle, he got small, and then he got depressed. And so he stopped lifting for 10 years. And he told me, he said, the only reason he would lift again is if he went on a bigger cycle. And he said, the reason why I had to stop, it was taking over my life. And I don't think that is indicative of the population as a whole, but I do think there's a huge slice of people that this does apply to. I think a lot of unhealthy habits can be formed, and that's why having proper discipline, making sure you don't become obsessive, is very important. And that's the flip side to this equation when we talk about bigorexia or body dysmorphia, not being comfortable in your own skin, where you think to yourself, you're like, ah man, I don't have that. But think to yourself this right now. Will you be comfortable just taking your shirt off, if need be, in front of people or in front of your friends? Or do you feel a little self-conscious about that? Or you're like, oh, like no, I'd rather not. See, I am that asshole where when we went to New York, my boy Larry Wheels, who is massive, he is a mass monster. Let's get some photos here. He probably makes Arnold look small. Anyways, he was training shirtless, and there was a bunch of us. There's like 8 of us training. And someone's like, who wants to pose next to Larry Wheels? And everyone's like, nah, I don't want to pose. I don't want to feel small. And I'm just like, bro, fuck, just take it off. Let's go. And I did the posing. And you know what else? How did I look next to him?
Hilarious.
Hilarious, you know? And so I think you need to be comfortable in your own skin. And I truly do mean that. I've shared, there's more stories. And when I say this is something that happens quite frequently, I really do mean that. And the flip side to this, I talked about body dysmorphia, could be an eating disorder where some people, when they try and diet down in bodybuilding, right? And that's why I am truly thankful for individuals like Alberto Nunez and Eric Helms, where they take natural bodybuilding and how they take an evidence-based approach and a holistic approach where they want people to have a healthy mindset when it comes to competing. But once again, I know of individuals that have competed at shows and then they develop a bad relationship with food, where they have problems where they're either constantly hungry all the time, or they view certain foods as the enemy, they avoid other foods and they binge eat. It's just this whole vicious cycle. And the question becomes, why did we start fitness in the first place? That is to try and improve ourselves. So if we're having all these accessory things happen to us along the journey, that's fucked up. We need to solve this. And I think the first step is to have some dialogue and then come up with some potential solutions. I think always, I talked about social media before, how it skews perceptions. People never feel good enough because everyone seems like they're having a great time. Well, guess what? They're not. I think you should be always comfortable in your own skin, if you want to transform your body, I applaud you and I think that's a great thing, but don't hate on yourself and be able to be a little bit more objective with your progress. Where I've seen people make great progress, they're like, nah, I don't know if I'm making any progress. I don't know if this is the body that I want, or I look like shit still, and meanwhile they look fantastic. And then it just develops this vicious cycle, this vicious body dysmorphia. So love yourself. I'm telling you, all you out there, there's some bros right now, they're like, bro, this is fucking weird. I don't need to hear this shit. Those are the people that need to hear it the most, because like I said, there's some people along the way in this journey that I wouldn't think that they had these things, but when it comes time to take off that shirt, you find out the truth. Anyways, guys, just thought I'd make this video today. One, because I did have that Uber driver. We had this 30-minute conversation all about basically bigorexia. But recently, I will keep this person anonymous, but people on Instagram, people that are IG famous, some YouTubers that you might know, that they wouldn't talk about this publicly because they might feel that they're shamed about it, but through talking with me, I'm like, holy crap, man, this issue is a lot bigger than people realize. So just think about that a little bit while you lift. Do it for the right reasons. I gotta get out of here. Thank you so much for watching the video. If you liked the video, if you learned something today, if it changed your perspective, or if you thought, you know what, fuck it, I'm gonna eat some Doritos, like the damn video. And I'll see all you guys, my rascals, in that next video. Peace.